Well, good morning, YouTubers. Well, today is May the 31st. It's a Sunday, so I thought I would go ahead and give you my weekly layout update. I have been busy plastering, which I put a video earlier this week on how I do the plastering. So I will take you over to that part of the layout and show you what I've done. The other thing I have been working on, which is kind of off layout, is working on getting my rolling stock locomotives and cabooses cataloged into the My Trains software that I use from Shenandoah Software for car cards. Eventually, as I get more of the layout built, then I will incorporate the Waybills portion of the software that I've also purchased from Shenandoah. So let me go ahead and show you what I have worked on, and I will get the camera not just at an above angle but a lower angle, so that way you can see more of the definition and contour that I'm doing. Alrighty, so this is all I have plastered. I pretty much got this whole side done, as you can see, and I did leave a little bit of screen here to work with, and I can continue that further that direction. I ended it here, so I went ahead and finished that section there out. And it's still kind of cold and moist to the touch because the humidity has been a lot lower this weekend. So here's the pond. And this is actually sitting up higher than this back here. So theoretically, if this pond was to fill up, we would have overflow come. It would go through the culvert here. Now, the water would theoretically come from back here, so I left a little divot, and there is a culvert in place there. So, and then it's kind of hard to tell. Well, you might be able to tell it, but you can see my finger running through this little stream. Okay, so now all I need to do is add some color, get it flocked, painted, and eventually add some trees. Here's a good example of what it looks like underneath. This is why I use aluminum screen, because you can see right up under here where the plaster kind of molds into it. And I mean, this, it's like rebar, so it's really good stuff. And this just kind of holds its angle and gives it a better, smooth curvature. But this is, what it looks like, at a level or an eye view. And of course you can see where the creek would continue. So let me see if I can sit this down right there. So that way you can see, the creek. And then the road, of course, going above, and which will be a gravel road. There is a possibility I might have got this here, the edge of the plaster, just a little too close. I might have to come back, and if I do, I'll have to bust some screen out. But I'm not seeing any issues right now. I've got one of the fuel tanks on one of my diesels just barely going over it. So now the other thing I've been working on is getting the campground prepared, and I probably should have moved some of this stuff out of the way. These water bottles is what I use for water mixtures for the plaster. It's just much easier having multiple bottles ready than having to go back and forth and fill one bottle. Okay, so you can see I've got a few pieces of wood here. This is all glued in, and basically it's going to create a little platform here, and I will end up using hardboard, which I'll cut down to size, and it'll kind of act as my platform. And because I don't want the campground getting flooded out from the stream, we want the stream to run off. So, and then of course right here I will put in a road, and I've got the road set a little above too, so these are glued in, so the road will actually sit on top of this. But the masonite will sit on this level here. All of these pieces, not that one over there. That one's actually going to be the hill that kind of comes down to the campground area. And this is just kind of an idea of how I'm going to do it. The pencil marking is not necessarily how it is going to reflect, because I was thinking about maybe putting in like a fielded area here where there is no tents or no campers, but this is like an area where people could walk down to the stream, you know, if it's flowing one day. So, all right, so let me show you the other part that I have been working on. And like I said, this is kind of the off layout stuff. So here's the car cards. I've got several different ones here, and these represent different tracks. So you can see I have this ATSF 656 hopper, and I know my printer kind of messed up on that, but you can relatively see that that would be that car right there. And so separate tracks there, and then I've got these over here as well, which you can see that gondola is that one, and these two hopper cars are in the car shops, which are right there. So that's just kind of where I have been at lately. I haven't really done any operations or running, except for, you know, testing the loop to make sure that the plaster is not too close, especially with these longer cars like these center beams here. Especially that plaster right there. So like I said, I might have to come back and cut it down. So, all right, well, that's where I'm at. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to subscribe, like, to share it to the other, you know, YouTubers out there, and to hit that bell for future notifications as I keep coming up with more updates on this layout. All right, y'all be safe out there, and happy railroading.